Now, as far as follow-up methods with your clients, of course, the age-old system would be making phone calls. And if you're planning to do that, just make sure that you're calling at a reasonable time, which obviously, you would have probably discussed that with the person you're following up with of when a good day and time is for them. So stick to that time frame. If you tell them you're going to call in 2 days, call in 2 days. And I know that this should go without saying, but if you get somebody's voicemail, leave them a message with your full contact info back so that they can get back in touch with you. And of course, if you don't hear back from them, again, they're busy, they have a life, and passion parties probably is not it. Follow up with them again like a day or two later. Now, of course, in this day and age, most people are okay with texting, and a lot of people actually prefer texting to phone calls. So about a year ago, I actually adopted a system where I strictly do text follow-up unless somebody tells me that they don't text, that they only do phone calls. But again, that's pretty rare nowadays. And there are different group texting applications that you can get for your phone. It depends on whether you have like an iPhone or an Android. So do some research on those and see what the pros and cons of the various apps are. But that can be super helpful. But even without an app, texting your party guests or your potential hostesses can be super simple. Now, first and foremost, you want to make sure that texting them is okay. Like, it's something that I actually mention at my parties. It's part of my closing. I let them know that I will be doing text follow-up and ask them to please make sure I have their cell phone and to notate if they text, because that is an option that they can circle on the order form. However, I don't just leave it at that. When they're in the consultation room with me, I verify their phone number and I ask them if it's okay to text them for follow-up. And if they say yes, I just make a little T next to their phone number so that I know. And as far as following up via text, again, make sure you're doing that at like reasonable hours of the day, and you're doing it within the time frame you discussed. For instance, reservicing, I have a little bit different schedule than if I'm calling somebody because they were interested in becoming a consultant. If that person tells me they're interested in being a consultant, I'm going to follow up with them in probably 24 to 48 hours at the very most. Or if they told me they want to host a party but not for 3 months, okay, I'm probably not going to follow up with them for 3 months. But as far as my standard reservicing, that I actually have on a system. And you can find these in the files section of both the Team Sugar and Spice group and the Passionate Visionaries group, my text message reservicing that I send out. But I send one text generally within 24 hours or so of the party that basically is just an introduction text. It says, hey, this is me, this is my number, save me in your phone. I send another one 10 to 14 days later and say, did your products arrive? Are you okay with everything? Is everything, did it get there safely? Then I send another text at about 2.5 months after the party, and that one is reminding them that their 90-day warranty is approaching and making sure that all of their products are still working properly. And then the last text that I send is actually a 6-month follow-up text. It's just a one last check-in text, and I send them a discount code for reorders on my website. So I'll tell you, I've been using that system for a little over a year, and I have way more customer response, and I think that my customers are much more highly satisfied with my customer service because of that. And it literally takes me mere moments to do it per party. Now, again, I'm using an app, but even if you're not using an app to manually text those people, you're essentially just copying and pasting the same message. Super simple. It gets your number in front of them repeatedly, and it makes you look like a rock star, especially the one about the 90-day warranty. Because guaranteed, if they had something that broke and they didn't contact you immediately, they forgot about it. Or then they think that maybe, oh gosh, that deadline's probably already passed. But I've had several people give me huge props because they were like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. I totally forgot to get in touch with you. And then I looked like a rock star simply because I was sending them a text just to follow up. Now, of course, your most personal relationships are probably going to be built with actual phone calls. But like I said, I let my customers know up front at the party, and most of them seem totally happy with it. And it just, again, leads to really excellent customer service. So if you're looking for the scripting for those texts, again, it's in the files section of the groups. And if you want to make your own, that's totally awesome. Just remember, you want to keep any text messages that you're sending out to 160 characters or less. Otherwise, it will get split up into multiple text messages. So, text message reservicing, huge and super awesome. Highly, highly recommend it. Keeps it simple for you, and of course your clients love it.